You want to run at light speed? Kick a 1,000-pound oil tanker with ease. Lift a semi-truck without breaking a sweat. Well, with these exercises, you won't be able to do any of those things, but you will be able to build a killer meat shield, and that is something every buff dude wants. How to build your back, superhero style. And remember, all of these exercises are part of our superhero book. So if you want a killer workout guidebook, then be sure and grab your copy. Link in description. With power comes great responsibility. But what is power? Well, in the case of our first exercise, the Pendlay Row, power is moving weight with speed. What is responsibility? Well, it's making sure you're performing the exercise correctly, or you'll be as dead as Peter Parker's Uncle Ben. So in the case of the Pendlay Row, it's going to be very similar to a bent over row, but with a few key differences. One being that your torso is going to be more horizontal to the floor for the full duration of the exercise, and two, you're really going to be focusing on the explosive concentric contraction, which is the pull portion of the lift, and completely disregarding the eccentric contraction, or the negative portion of the lift. Once you pull the bar explosively to your sternum, you're gonna let the weight just drop down to the floor without giving it any resistance whatsoever, and start your next rep. Now this is really focusing on building that power by working the fast twitch muscle fibers, which are really moving that weight with speed for a short duration of time, working the lats, the rear delts, and the traps with the core as stabilizer muscles. So in regards to the Pendlay Row, we have to circle back to Uncle Ben. And although you had a very short character arc, we do appreciate your last words, which are, "Oh God!" Wait a sec, that wasn't it. Oh, that's right, it was the whole great power, great responsibility thing. So thank you, old dead dude. We'll see you in the next reboot. Pullovers. Considered an isolation exercise for the lats, this exercise will be working in flexion and extension of the shoulder joint. Although pullovers primarily work your lats as an isolation exercise, it has many more benefits. It also works your serratus anterior, abdominals, shoulders, chest, and triceps to help with the movement. So all in all, it's a killer exercise. How to perform. Lying cross bench and feet flat on the floor, grasp a dumbbell with both hands and straighten your arms so the dumbbell is placed over your sternum. Slowly inhale and flex your shoulders, bringing the weight above and behind your head. Once you reach a full stretch in your lats, extend in your shoulders to bring the weight back to the starting position. What to avoid? Don't extend in your elbows. Don't lift your hips. Don't hold your breath. The barbell face pull. Now in order to perform this exercise correctly, what you gotta do is remember Thor's mistake. He didn't aim for the head. Because in this exercise, what you're gonna be wanting to do is pull the barbell up to your forehead. Now this just changes quite a bit. A conventional row is keeping your elbows a little bit tight to your body and pulling the barbell to your belly button, but in this case, what you're gonna be doing is flaring the elbows out and pulling the barbell up to your forehead. And this changes quite a bit, not only the angle, but also the muscles activated. With the posterior deltoids, the lats, the upper and mid traps, all activated to help pull that motion, with the secondary muscle group with the biceps, which you can kind of think of as like a sidekick, but ones that actually pull their weight, unlike Robin or Hawkeye. If you rewatch The Avengers, you'll see Hawkeye shoot an arrow, miss a guy, and hit a tire. I mean, the guy's useless. Well, not entirely useless. He actually settled up with the insurance company after shooting that tire, so really, he is kind of a hero to the insurance company. We're all heroes in our own way. How to perform the barbell face pull. Set the bench around a 30-degree angle and lie prone with your sternum firmly planted on the top edge of the bench. Now grasp the barbell with a shoulder width grip and keep your elbows wide while pulling the bar to face level, and slowly let it down to the starting position. What to avoid? Short range of motion due to the weight being too heavy, too fast, and letting your elbows drop. Now aim for the head and you'll be sure to kill this exercise. Pull-up negatives. Batman, 1989, end scene. Joker hangs on for dear life, carrying the full weight of a concrete gargoyle. Sadly, he succumbs to the weight, falls to his death, and somewhere, a young Jared Leto watches with glee, knowing sometime in the next 2 decades, he'll have his chance to shine as the greatest Joker to ever grace the silver screen. How could Jack Nicholson have prevented this horrible timeline? by working on his pull-up negatives. As the name implies, with pull-up negatives, you'll only be working on the negative portion of the lift, developing endurance in the back as well as, increased strength in case you ever find a gargoyle wrapped around your leg. The primary mover in this exercise is going to be your lats, with the secondary movers being your traps and biceps. To perform this exercise, utilize a stool, a box, or a bench, something that will elevate you so it's easy to jump into the top position of a pull-up. Grasp the bar with an overhand grip wider than shoulder width. Jump into position so your chin is just above the bar and immediately contract your lats to hold yourself in that position. Hold for a split second and gently and slowly lower yourself down to the bottom position. Once you're finished with that, go ahead and repeat the movement of the exercise. What you want to avoid doing with the pull-up negatives is starting mid-rep and quickly letting yourself fall to the ground.
Have you ever imagined yourself as Batman? You throw a batarang at a guy's legs, you pull him closer to you, grab him by the scuff of the collar, and you say, "I'm Batman." Yeah, well, you probably won't be able to do that unless you know this exercise, rope pulls, which is going to be working on your lats, your biceps, and core as a stabilization, and also really helping with that speed. And what happens when we combine speed with weight? Power. So if you know this exercise, you're basically going to be Batman, without the good looks, or the money, or Vicky Vale, or the gadgets, but you will know the exercise. So you have that going for you, which is nice. How to perform. Tie a rope around a plate or a kettlebell. Walk back with the rope in hand at full length of the rope. With a wide stance, slightly squat down into a quarter squat. Start pulling the rope hand over hand. Once the weight reaches you, walk back to the opposite side with rope in hand and repeat. What to avoid. Don't stand upright. Don't use a short rope. Don't just jerk the weight. There you go. 5 excellent exercises which may not give you superpowers, but will bring you one step closer to looking like a superhero. And that's what it's all about, right? Looking the part without actually having to, prevent a snap or close a portal or something. Instead, you'll be upping your Instagram likes with gym selfies as your new alter ego, Dr. Douchebag. But seriously, if you post more than 5 a day, then you're Dr. Douchebag. If not, you're still a buff dude. It's all about that fine line between superhero and supervillain. It's circling it all back to the whole Uncle Ben thing. With great power comes great responsibility. And then he pissed and shit himself, so. Fucking Uncle Ben, man.